Hey guys, welcome to Math Class with Miss Brown. Before we get started with today's lesson, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more fun math videos. And make sure you guys like this video and share it with your family and friends. Now let's get started with today's lesson. So in today's lesson, you guys are going to learn how to multiply by place value. And you have your CFS. So it says make sure numbers are lined up by place value. Change each digit to its value. Start with the numbers at the bottom. Start in the ones place. Multiply each number at the bottom with every number at the top, starting from the ones place, and so on. Place answers below the line bar without carrying over. So let's jump into today's lesson. Okay, here we have three problems on the board. So let's start with the first one. So our CFS says make sure numbers are lined up by place value. So we have our ones place and our tens place. And then it says change each digit to its value, right? So we have our digits lined up, and then now it says change each digit to its value. So you just have to know your place value. So this is the ones place, and here is the next one over is the tens place. So just keep in mind that all the numbers in the ones place are just going to be, ones, right? So we have two ones, that's going to be 2. The value of the three ones is just going to be 3. So the 5, which is in the tens place, what is the value of that 5? The value of the 5 is 50. So that's why we're changing the 5 into a 50, because it's really a 50. So then it says start with the numbers at the bottom. So we only have one number at the bottom, right? So then it says start in the ones place, and the 3 is in the ones place. And then it says multiply each number at the bottom with every number at the top. So we only have one number at the bottom, right? So we're going to take that 3 and we're going to multiply it by each number at the top, right? So first we're going to do 3 times 2, right? And I'm going to write my equations here on the side so my work can be organized and I can keep up with it. So 3 times 2, right? What is 3 times 2? 3 times 2 is 6. So I'm just going to place the 6 down here. That's all I'm going to do. That's it. So now I'm going to cross that 2 out because we're done with the 2. So now we're going to take that 3 and multiply it by the 50. Not 5, but 50. 3 times 50 is 150. So I'm just going to place that 150 at the bottom, but I'm just going to make sure that the 150 is lined up. So I have my 0, my 5, and my 1. Okay, that's how I got 150. And that's it, because we have no more numbers. So now I'm just going to add them together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus nothing is 5. 1 plus nothing is 1. So my total answer is 156. That's it. That was rather easy. It's going to get a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to need you guys to focus, and I'm going to need you guys to make sure you pay close attention. And most importantly, just follow your CFS at the top if you ever get lost while you are working on these problems. So remember, line your digits up by place value, right? The numbers in the ones place stay the same, but the numbers in the tens place we have to change because that 6 is really a 60, right? And this 2 is really a 20, right? So we're going to take that first digit at the bottom in the ones place, which is the 4, and we're going to multiply by every number at the top. So first we're going to take the 4 and we're going to multiply it by 3. And 4 times 3 is, okay, 4 times 3 is 12. Good. So we're going to place the 12 there. So now we did the 4 times the 3. So now we're going to do 4 times the 60. And I'm going to write that out, 4 times 60. And it's always good to write your equations out so you can keep up with, with what you're doing. So 4 times the 60 is 240. So I'm just going to make sure that I line my numbers up by place value because that's very important. So now we're done with the 4. We multiplied the 4 by the 3. We multiplied it by the 60. So now we're going to cross the 4 out because we no longer need the 4. So now we're on to the 20. Not a 2, but that's a 20. Remember, because it's in the tens place. So now we're going to do 20 times the 3. And 20 times the 3 is 60, right? So I'm going to just place my 60 here. Line it up by place value, okay? So now I'm going to do the 20 times the 60, right? The 20 times the 60, right? So 20 times 60 is 1,200, right? So I'm going to place my answer here at the bottom, 1,200. And I'm doing it backwards because, I just went up, not forward. Let me erase that. That was an accident. So I'm going to put my 2 and then my 1. So yeah, like I was saying, it's always good to make sure you do it backwards so you can know that your digits is in the correct place value. So 2 plus 0 is 2, 6 plus 4 is 10, plus the 1, which is 11. Put the 1 down there, carry the 1. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus the 1, which is 5. and then 1 plus nothing, which is 1. I know you can't see it, so I'm going to write it here on the side. So we have 1,512, and that is our answer. Yes, I know that's a lot of work, but if you be organized and write your equations on the side, I promise you it will be much more understanding to you if you write your equations on the side and then add up all your partial products. So let's look at another one. Let's do another one. Now this one is a 3-digit by 2-digit, right? So it's going to require more work, but that's okay. Just let's do step by step. So they're lined up by place value. I'm going to change the digits in the tens place. That 4 is really a 40, and that 3 is really a 30, and then that 2 is in the hundreds place. That's really a 200. So we're going to take that 2 and I'm going to multiply it by every number at the top. So first I'm going to do 2 times 5, and 2 times 5 is, 10. 2 times 5 is 10. So I'm just going to put 10 there, okay? So next I'm going to do 2 times the 40. I'm going to write out my equation, 2 times 40, right? And 2 times 40 is 80. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that 80 here at the bottom. And then next, I'm going to take that 2 and multiply it by the 200, right? So 2 times 200, which is 400. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that 400 at the bottom. I'm just lining it up, making sure it's lined up nice and neat and organized. So now I'm done with the 2. The 2, I multiplied it by every number at the top. So now we are done. We are finished with the 2. So I'm going to cross that out. Now we're moving on to the 30. Not the 3, but the 30, because that's really a 30. So now I'm going to multiply that by every digit at the top. So 30 times 5, which is 150. So I'm going to go ahead and place my 150 there at the bottom. So now next is 30 times 40. So the 30 times the 40, which is 1,200, right? So now I'm going to put the 1,200. And like I said, I'm writing it backwards because I just want to make sure that my digits are lined up in each place value correctly, right? So next is the 30 times the 200. And 30 times 200 is 6,000, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put the 6,000. Here we go. Make that a 0, yep. And then put my 6 there. So now I'm going to add it all up. So in the ones place, we have all those zeros. I'm just going to bring the 0 down, right? And then in the tens place, we have the 8 plus the, we have the 1, okay, the 8 plus the 5, which is 13 plus the 1, which is 14. So I'm going to put my 4, and I'm going to carry the 1. And then we have 4 plus 1, which is 5, 5 plus 2, which is 7, and then 7 plus 1, which is 8. Yep, that's 8. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 8. And then next we have the 1 plus the 6, which is 7. So our final answer is 7,840, and that's our final answer. Yes, yes, yes. Let's do some more. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to do. Pause this video, get your paper and pencil, and I want you to try these 3 problems on your own. And then when you're done, we're going to come back together and go over it. Okay, so you guys should be done. So let's look at the first problem, which is 27 times 2. Make sure our numbers are lined up by place value, which they are. We have the ones place and the tens place, and then we're going to change each digit to its value. So the numbers in the digits in the ones place is going to stay the same, but that 2 in the tens place is actually a 20, because 2 tens is 20, right? So we're going to start in the ones place at the bottom, and we're going to multiply that digit by every number at the top. But when we're multiplying that digit by every number at the top, write your equations down at the side, because it's going to help you keep your work organized and clear. So let's take a look. We have 2 times 7, right? 2 times 7 is 14, right? So I'm going to write my 14 down here. That's it, right? Now I'm going to do 2 times 20, right? Because that 2 is really a 20 at the top. So 2 times 20 is 40. So I'm just going to put my 40 down there. That's it. Add it all up, and altogether my answer is 54. So now the next problem is 83 times 25. So remember, the digits in the ones place is going to stay the same, right? So the only thing we're going to change is the digits in the tens place, because we have to change those digits to its correct value, right? So that 8 is really an 80, and that 2 is really a 20, because they're in a tens place. 8 tens is 80, 2 tens is 20. So we're going to take that first digit in the ones place at the bottom, and we're going to multiply by each digit at the top. So let's write our equation. We have 5 times 3, which is 15. And then our next equation is going to be 5 times 80, which is 400. So I'm going to go ahead and do 5 times 80. And now I'm going to put my 400 here at the bottom. So I multiplied that 5 at the bottom with every number at the top. So now I am done with my 5. We do not need it. We can cross it out. So next we have 20. That 2 is really a 20. So 20 times 3, right? But I'm just going to go ahead and write my next equation too. So 20 times 80. I'm going to just get that out the way and write it. So 20 times 80 is 1,600. But first, let's go back to the 20 times 3, which is 60. I'm going to put that there. And then the 20 times the 80 is 1,600. So remember, I write my numbers backwards, starting from the right to the left. So let's add it up. 5 plus zeros is 5, and then 1 plus 6 is 7. 4 plus 6 is 10. 0, carry 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So my final answer is 2,075. Did you guys get that right? Practice. The more practice, the better. So let's go to the next one. We have a 3-digit by a 2-digit. It's going to take more work, which is okay. So I'm going to change those digits in the tens place and the hundreds place. So that 3 is really a 30, the 5 is really a 50, and that 5 at the top is really a 500. So I'm going to take that 6 and multiply it by every number at the top. So I'm going to write my equations at the side. 6 times 4, right? And then I'm going to do 6 times 30, right? 6 times 30. And then I'm going to do 6 times 500. I'm just going to write those equations out so I can just get them out the way. Okay. So we know the 6 times the 4 is the 24. And then the 6 times the 30 is 180. And then the 6 times the 500, right? We're going to put my zeros down, which is 3,000. Right? So we are done with the 6. We multiplied it by every number at the top. So now we're going to move on to the 5, which is the 50. All right, so we're going to write our equations on the side. So we have 50 times the 4, right? Not that much space over here, but you guys see it. And then we're going to do the 50 times the 30, right? I'm going to take my time. Yep. And then we're going to do the 50 times the 500. Right, I'm going to make sure that it's here on the board. 50 times the 500. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put my answers, right? So 50 times the 4 is 200. Okay. And then the 50 times the 30 is 1,500. All right, there we go. And then the 50 times the 500, which is 25,000, right? 25,000, yeah, 25,000. So I'm going to put my 5 and then put my 2. So I'm going to go ahead and add it. Go ahead. Okay, so the 4 plus all the zeros is 4. And then we have the 2 plus the 8, which is 10, 0. There you go, 0, carry the 1. And then we have the 5 plus 2, which is 7. 8, 9, there we go. And then we have the 5 plus the 1, which is 6. 6 plus 3, which is 9. And then 2 plus nothing, which is 2. So my final, let's see. Let's erase that. I'm going to cut out 2 there. All right, no more space on the board. But our final answer is 29,904. Did you guys get that right? All right. I know this is a lot of work. Don't be too hard on yourself. Remember, the more practice, the better. And you guys will get it. I promise. Okay, that's the end of today's lesson. You guys did amazing. Remember, it's going to take more practice. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share this video with your classmates and your family and friends if they need help in math. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at MissBrown_the_math_teacher and on TikTok at Miss Brown the Math Teacher. I'll see you guys in the next class. Bye.